Drug addicts and HIV-infected were among the people paid to join the protests against the special economic zones planned by the government, according to Senior Lieutenant-General To Lam, Minister of Public Security. Investigations have found that between VND 200, $0,008.59 to VND 400, $0,000 was paid to hire demonstrators, Lam told a meeting of the National Assembly Standing Committee on Monday. Lawmakers said at the meeting that the demonstrations had seriously affected Social Security, tainted the country's image, and evoked public concern. As demonstrations broke out in many provinces and cities across the country over controversies surrounding Vietnam's proposed draft law on special economic zones, SEZs, and a cybersecurity bill, some people instigated violent acts. He said. Lam said the public security sector would study the problems and identify solutions to tackle illegal protests in the future. Lam said he has instructed police forces to make plans to deal with illegal demonstrations, riots, and acts of terrorism, and ensure safety at key industrial parks. Meanwhile, relevant authorities would continue to track down criminals and prevent them from joining public protests. He added, the protests against the SEZ law last June turned violent, with many protesters storming the offices of the People's Committee of Binth One and burning vehicles, destroying other property, and clashing with the police. The protests in Binth One were among a number that erupted in Vietnam on June 10th and 11th. Thousands of people took to the streets in Hanoi, Da Nang, Ho Chi Minh City, and several provinces, with banners and signs calling for the SEZ draft law to be scrapped. They objected in particular to a provision that would allow foreign investors to lease land for 99 years, saying that such a law would allow foreign countries to undermine Vietnam's sovereignty. The bill, which was scheduled to be passed in June, has been postponed for further parliamentary discussions in October, with passing of the law on demonstration delayed several times. All actions to incite public protests are deemed illegal following the demonstrations. Police detained hundreds of protesters and said they uncovered evidence that the protests were anti-state actions incited by organizations based in other countries using false, distorted information on the draft laws. The video is sponsored by Centronic.com.